Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for September of 2021. We are the astrologers of Pandora Astrology. I'm Jamie Kale Miller, and right now I'm in Reading, Pennsylvania.
And I'm Julia Mikas in Pioneer, California.
Well, Sag, this month's career emphasis is going to shift into an emphasis on outreach and networking as the next month comes on and this month finishes. Be ready to form the right connections. And what might really help you with that is a mission orders career reading from one of us here at Pandora Astrology. And you'll find a link for that in the YouTube description below. Well, Sag, Julia's going to kick this off with a look at Venus, Mars, and Mercury. Take it away, Julia.
All right. Well, hey there, Sagittarius. So Jamie mentioned that you were going to be focusing this month on networks and social things. And Venus, the planet of art, beauty, and relationship, goes into your social or starts the month in that very social house of yours, which is the 11th house. The 11th house represents your friends. It also represents any groups you're a part of. So that could include unions, clubs, societies, gamer circles, anywhere where you find yourself among other people. And she's going to be in this house for the first 10 days of the month. So with Venus in the 11th, it's just going to be a very social period at the beginning of the month where you're just going to be wanting to connect to lots of friends or spending more time in the groups that you're a part of. If you're single, it can be a great time to go on online dating because the 11th house rules networks of all kinds. And if you have a partner, then you're going to be enjoying your partner among other people too, maybe inviting them out with your friends. You're just going to want to be pretty social, and you're already pretty social, Sagittarius. Then on the 10th, Venus moves into the 12th house, and that's when you're going to be withdrawing a bit more from social activity for the last 2/3 of the month. The 12th house is a very private house. It represents isolated places. So when Venus moves into this house, and wherever we have Venus is where we find more harmony and pleasure in our lives, you're going to be enjoying spending more time on your own, which is totally fine because you've had a very social first third of the month. Then Mars, the planet of action and activity, begins the month in your 10th house. The 10th house is the house of your career. It can also represent authority figures. So whoever's an authority to you, whether it's still your parents, whether it's a teacher at school, whether it's your boss at work, or even if you're running a business and you have to contend with some government stuff, then that could be the authority figure. But with Mars in this house for the first half of the month, you could be running into conflicts with the authority figures in your life. And Mars can also bring his frustrations too in your career arena of life as well. Now with Mars in this house, it means that you are also very driven. You can get a lot of great work done too, but you're probably going to want to do it more on your own because Mars is definitely a numero uno planet that doesn't want to play well with others. So the more work you can do on your own, the better off for the first half of the month. Then on September 14th, Mars moves into your 11th house just after Venus left. So again, 11th house is your friends. And with Mars in here, you could run into some frustrations, also competitiveness because Mars rules competition, maybe even flare-ups too within your friendship circles, even any groups you're a part of too. So whether you're part of a union, maybe you get frustrations there, or if you're in a recovery program, maybe you're not getting along with other people. But you know, Mars can definitely raise the temperature, I guess, in our relationships as represented by the 11th. Now, Mercury, the planet of communication and mentation, is going to be in your 11th house all month, and he's going to go retrograde on September 26th at the end of the month. So with Mercury in this house, wherever we have Mercury is where we tend to spend a lot of time thinking about things, where we strategize, where we can find more communication in our lives. So there seems to be a lot of kind of communication going on all month, maybe among your friendship circles, also other people or with other people in the groups in your life. And the 11th house also can represent your long-term goals in life. So you could be spending a lot of your mental energy thinking, where do I want to be in the next 5 years, 10 years? What are my future goals and how am I going to achieve them? But by the end of the month on the 26th, and then into October, this could be a time of miscommunications with your friends, as well as a time of rethinking and redoing some of your previous thoughts about your long-term goals too. So be prepared for that.
Yeah, the 11th house is about your people, the people of like mind that you feel a sense of belonging with, your tribe. That can be expressed socially. It can also be expressed in your business. There are a lot of businesses that rely on social media marketing.
Yeah.
And so, any and all of these interpretations, Julia, that you've been giving would apply to that as well, perhaps,
Hmm.
especially as we look at the first moon of the month, which is a new moon in Virgo. And right here it is September 6th, sitting right here in the 10th house, which is the arena of career. So the sun begins the month in Virgo. It's Virgo season, a hardworking season, especially for you, Sagittarius, because this falls in your 10th house of career. You know, uh, for the Sag risers of the world, it's all about looking good, right? It's all about being a benevolent influence wherever you go, right? It's all about expanding all the time. But in your career, you want to come off as the person who really understands the details. You want to come off as the person of integrity. That's because Virgo fills your 10th house. Virgo is there, and this new moon is a really great opportunity to make some new beginnings in terms of really handling the details properly in your place of business, in your career and reputation, along the arc of your career. And this really dovetails nicely with and supports that Mercury retrograde journey going on in the 11th house this month, which is really about cleaning up your contact lists, cleaning up your Rolodex, asking yourself, is this contact useful to me? Am I useful to them? Do we have a strong relationship? What can I do about that relationship? Can it be bettered? Is it worth bettering? And I think that Mercury will be asking you a lot of those questions about, the contacts and the networks that you interact with for your business. So, that new moon is quite powerful. It has a lovely trine to Uranus, which is falling in your 6th house. Uranus has been traveling through your 6th house for a couple of years now. It's not quite done yet. It has been causing you to want to be more individualistic, quirky, and perhaps innovative and cutting edge on the job. And that Uranus is bringing some, maybe some wacky ideas to this new moon, which might get into your business and help you with those new beginnings that I'm talking about. So it could be time for making some changes, and they could go smoothly. Okay, then the next moon that I want to tell you about is the full moon happening 2 weeks later, like it does. And here it is on September 20th, at the end of Pisces, right here in your 4th house. So this brings the moon into opposition with the sun, and that's what a full moon is. And so the moon is pulling in one direction, the sun is pulling in another direction. The sun, by lighting up your 10th house with the spotlight of attention, wants you to be laser focused in career, wants you to be handling all those details. But the moon in Pisces is really pulling your heart towards hearth and home. And there's a bit of a dilemma there. Pluto is here to help. Pluto forms a harmonious sextile to the moon, a harmonious trine to the sun. Pluto is mitigating the stress and tension that's pulling you in these two very different directions. And Pluto is serving another purpose in this moon. We're calling this moon penetrative intuition because this moon is a really great opportunity for secrets that have been festering under the surface and damaging things like your reputation or your connections with family members, your feeling of safety and goodness in your home. Those kind of secrets could find their way to the surface under this moon, and it might be the right time for that to happen so that it can be as unexplosive and positive a result as possible. So there could be a serious purging that goes on under this moon, and it might not be a bad thing. It might be messy, but have good results in the long run. So then the last thing that I want to let you know about is there is a seasonal change coming, of course, as happens around the 20th to the 23rd of every month. The sun, which has been in Virgo, moves on over into Libra, which, as Julia has been describing, this is a house of your social life, your networks, the people that you connect with, whether in a more friendly and social way, or whether in a more business-oriented networking kind of way. And when the sun brings its attention to this house, and it will be there for about 30 days, as is typical for the sun, it's going to bring a lot of warmth and shine and glow to your social life. So enjoy that. All right, well, that's what we have for you today, Sagittarius. I hope you enjoyed it. You will always find your horoscope on our YouTube channel, Pandora Astrology, along with the news of the month, aggregated into playlists for your viewing ease and pleasure, and also on our website, pandoraastrology.com. And if this is your sun sign horoscope, definitely check out your rising sign horoscope if you know what that sign is, because it will work much better for you. On our website, you will also find ways to get readings with us, the astrologers of Pandora Astrology. We would love to see you. And we do work on Zoom, by the way, from remote anywhere in the world. I've seen clients as far away as Singapore and Australia. And you can take classes as well. Until next time, we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.